crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither, it's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How do we miss it? Northmore. Acting director Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son, the supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
Well, okay. So that kind of sounds like back at the start of the place.
The foundation. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How was she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
Yeah, that's not a very good idea.
So the hiss found their way down here too, huh?
That's not good. Oh. Okay, so there's a map of tunnels down here. I don't think it's wise to go down there, but I can go up there. Out though. There's a box for me to get up there. Nope. Okay, so it just resets. How am I supposed to get that box that's up there? Why would they put that box out of reach? that rock floating there?
Pickaxes now.
They're a new enemy. Relocation order. You missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called an all hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they happen. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with the ex-Nazi scientists, and goodbye pissing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore's ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is batty. If he thinks we want to stay here and sift through more sand for him, it's just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We were breathing that S in. His sharpened agents display the para-utilitarian ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation APR could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanations of the His Sharpened ability currently include momentary time manipulation, brief increase in physical speed, inhibiting the witness sense of sight. If we do accept that the Hiss Sharpen's ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the Hiss are either manifesting unique para-utilitarian abilities or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Either way, the Hiss are continuing to develop new strains of corruption, and that is cause for concern. Refer to file redacted for full report. Another new hotline. The Foundation.
I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself, to understand. After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place, and on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can.
And the Hiss have now found the place. That doesn't look safe. Nope, nothing gets through there. But it looks like there's something in there. Foundation accident. Mr. Wilder, I've some bad news. You remember the Robert Ricardo fellow we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls, and a strange black pillar in the center. Kinda looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guest. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Drugging him and carrying him through the upper floor was a real hoot, but, by the way. But we really need to re-evaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division trained in repelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we go deal with. They almost always end up dead or loony. Marcus. How far in are we? Okay. So I've missed the corner back here. This way goes back to the first area. No, this is a new one. What? It almost looks like it's gone back to the spot I can't get that box. But it's not the same spot. That's where I didn't see. We'll go back that way on the way out, I think. Later. Why won't you go up there? There's another locked way. Wonder if I'll get a power that opens these up.
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the Bureau.
The way that will go back to the first area. I don't think I'd go back up there.
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
Did I just get something else? I did. Astral copy. With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. The copies' bodies are composed of a dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. See Report 8/11/1633 for full composition analysis. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by a higher intelligence such as the board remains unknown. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential para-utilitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important to note that they appear immune to Hiss corruption. Refer to file redacted for full report. Okay.
Marshall? Marshall! You're alive! Wait! It's Jesse! The director!
I don't think Marshall was here. But did that open something else up for me? No.
Whoa. This place is huge.
Yeah.
Marshall? Can you hear me? She was on the hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right? One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
Ley lines. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here, at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet, attracting them, polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout, nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power. Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ranted about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Oh, we don't even know the rules.
This definitely sounds like the origin of the oldest house, the start of the Bureau.
5 days since we...
There is something down that way. I already went up there. Foundation pillar. The pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overlay, erect nature, but I'm more down to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house, or an intrusion within the heart, or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. Nail door monolith. Touch reverse it to enter. Repair the nail, link the prevail astral consumption. This is the director's duty. Plot. Authorized for a single new tool. Upgrade. Use it to save the Foundation. Us. Bureau. Left, self or right? Only one is permitted. Which will you choose? Become.
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.